Hi everyone! Today's video, I am going to rank all of my eyeshadows in my collection. So I did a ranking of my blushes last October and I did a giveaway. And then last month I did a ranking of all of my lipsticks and I also did a giveaway. So if you guys notice the pattern, today I'm doing a ranking of all of my eyeshadows. Not that I have a lot, and then I'm also going to give away an eyeshadow palette, and it is this one. This is the Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition palette from BH Cosmetics. I got this before, but BH Cosmetics does not ship here in the Philippines, so I ordered this and then have it shipped to my sister, and then my sister shipped it to me. So yeah, that's how I got it. But by the time this came in the mail here in the Philippines, I was already in this journey towards more curated makeup, so I don't need to use this. I don't need to open it. So, and it's Christmas, so I thought might as well give it to one of you guys that have been subscribed to me for quite some time already. So yeah, if you guys want to win this giveaway, watch the video and I will give you the mechanics on how to join this giveaway. But before that, I want to show you guys all of my eyeshadows first, and I want to rank them. So right now I only have 5 eyeshadows left. I did a lot of declutters for the past 2 years, and in fact this year I started with around 13 palettes. I'm not sure if it was this year or late last year, but I was around 13 palettes already. From 23 palettes, I downsized it to 13, and then throughout 2020, I have been doing Pando's Eyeshadows Challenge, and throughout the challenge, I learned the shadows and the formulas that I wanted and the ones that I didn't like. So the ones that I didn't like, I just decluttered. So from around 13 palettes, I am now only left with this 5. But even though I only have 5, I still definitely have my favorites. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all of my palettes because it's very curated now, but if I have to put them all in order, of course there will be some thing in the bottom and at the top. So the first one would be the Going Coconuts palette. This is actually one of my latest palettes. In fact, this is the latest palette that I have because I bought Sultry and Going Coconuts last year, but I bought Going Coconuts earlier, but it arrived later because it was shipped from Los Angeles. So Going Coconuts arrived the latest in my collection, and it now looks like this one. So I bought this because they say that it was a neutral, and I was really looking for neutral browns last year because a lot of my shadows are neutral warm browns, and I was just so tired of warm browns and oranges, so I decided I wanted to do a really neutral palette, and I got this one. And I was a little bit disappointed because it wasn't really neutral. It was a little bit cool toned. If you have like a fairer skin than mine, or if you have like a more cool toned undertone than mine, then this is definitely a warm tone for you. But for me, I have neutral warm, and this one pulls a little bit cool tone for me, especially this shade Colada, because even Shelia, because yes, they are neutral, but the undertone is not like rich neutral. It's more of a cool toned undertone with a little hint of mauve in it, and mauve with my skin tone just does not look good. So that's the reason why this comes in last. And also the formula isn't really as good as I remember from ColourPop. I have a lot of palettes from ColourPop before. I had Dream Street, which I think is one of their best formulas ever. I've had Yes Please, I Think I Love You, Give It To Me Straight. I had a lot that I already decluttered, and from what I remember, the formulas of those palettes were better than this one. I mean, this is still good, but it's no longer as good as it was once, and ColourPop prices have increased, but the quality, for me at the very least, has gone down. So I don't think it's now worth buying from ColourPop, because I don't know, they increased their prices but the quality is like going down. So yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, this comes in last, and I also don't like the packaging. I don't like the fact that they switched to plastic packaging. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I still love it. You can see I've used it, but if I have to rank it, this comes in last, despite the fact that this is like this is the latest palette in my collection. And then the next one is my oldest palette now in my collection, and this is the Zouva Coco blend. I bought this from Sephora Philippines. So I bought this because Zouva was very affordable, and the tones, they're a little bit warm but neutral. They're not like warm oranges, they're just warm browns, which I prefer. So I got this. So yes, all of my palettes are looking used because they are also a part of Pando's eyeshadows challenge. But yeah, the challenge is where I try to just use all of my makeup. So that's why my palettes all look used. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's the mattes in here are buildable. They're not like full on pigment immediately. That's why I love it, because I bought this when I was just starting with eyeshadows and I didn't have a lot of brushes. So the formula of this one was really helpful for beginners. And even now, when I don't really have enough time to like blend, I would reach for this, just dip my brush in there, just blend it, and that's it, because it's very buildable and the formula is nice. The formula isn't like blingy like ColourPop Metallics, Anastasia. They're more of like a satin shimmers, except for Pure Ganache. Pure Ganache can compete with Anastasia shimmers as well as ColourPop Metallics, because there's just something really unique about the formula of Pure Ganache. But the rest, they're more of like these for shimmers for old women, like those like luxury brands like Chanel, Tom Ford, where their shimmers are just very fine. They're not like blingy over the top. The shimmers in there, the shimmers in this palette is similar to the, except for Pure Ganache. And then my third most favorite palette is this I Think I Love You. This is the first palette that I ever bought from ColourPop, and I absolutely love it, especially the shade Bel Air. Bel Air, the original palette, the original shadow in Bel Air, I've used up. So I love it so much. I bought the single shadow from ColourPop, the Bel Air single eyeshadow, but unfortunately the color isn't the same because the formula isn't the same. The single shadow Bel Air is a little bit stiffer, it's more hard pressed into the pan. But because the pan size there is bigger, it's 1.5 grams if I'm not mistaken. This one is only 0.83 grams, so I had to like cut the amount of product that I repressed in this smaller pan. So when I repressed it, of course it was less pressed into the pan, so it was a bit more pigmented, so I got a little bit more same effect as the original Bel Air. But I just noticed that the Bel Air from the single shadow is a little bit warmer than the Bel Air that was originally in this palette, but the difference isn't really that much. So the Bel Air that you can see in here now is the other half of that single shadow, so that should tell you how much I love the shade Bel Air. And then this one contains a mixture of shadows from Dream Street as well. This one, 1, 2, and where is it? 1, 2, 3 were all from Dream Street. I decluttered Dream Street because I just didn't wear greens or the other shades, and the rest they're just like super chocolatey browns that I absolutely love. This one stops me from buying the Urban Decay Naked Honey, because I love chocolatey browns, but I already have this. Why do I need to get the honey palette? So I absolutely love it. Even though this is like 3 years old already, I still prefer the quality of this one than the later release of ColourPop, like the Going Coconuts. Like this one I got if I'm not mistaken, 2018. This one I got 2020. This one still performs better than Going Coconuts. The Prism Palette is my second most favorite. I love neutrals. I love neutral browns. And the colors in this palette isn't really neutrals. It's very metallic, but the reason why this comes in second because I love the formula of ABH. I don't know. I know there are a lot of fallout, but I don't mind that. I don't really dig into my shadows. If you guys watch my Pando's eyeshadows, you know how long I took using up Saturn or trying to hit pan on Saturn, just because I have just been so gentle with my eyeshadow. So fallout isn't really a problem for me. Upon initial look, the color story isn't really for me because they have a lot of like loud colors. I can actually go for a very neutral look for this one. Like, I'd put Unity on my eyelids, mix Unity with Parallel, or mix Unity with Eden or Lure for transition shade, and then I'd put Sphinx all over my eyes, and then just darken it up with Parallel, and I have this very beautiful bronze look. So that's very neutral. And then if I want a little bit warmer, I could use this. And then if I want a very colorful eyeliner, I can go for this metallic shades, which is why I absolutely love this palette. And the formula is quite nice. The shimmers in here have a lot of like dimensions. Like this one, you can, like this one, you'd think that this is just like purely metallic orange, but there's like a pink in here. And this one, there's a like light green and turquoise in here. This one has like green flecks. This one has pink flecks. It's so beautiful. This one has like a yellowish shift. It's quite beautiful. I mean, I know a lot of people declutter this palette because they just don't get a cohesive look out of it. But perhaps that's just only a initial look for the palette. But if you really study the palette, if you really use it, you get a lot of combinations for this one. Like, for example, this one, Lure and Eden, if I mix these two, I get a very beautiful like pinky orangey look. Or if sometimes I also mix Sphere with Eden, I get a very light peachy look. So it's quite beautiful and I absolutely love it. The only dud in here is the Osiris. It's quite a dry metallic, unlike the rest of the shadow, unlike the rest of the metallics. Osiris is very stiff, but it's okay. I don't mind since I only use my metallics, my colorful shadows as eyeliner anyway. I use a damp brush, so it doesn't really matter. And then my most favorite palette in here is my Sultry. So yeah, the packaging is very beautiful, but I don't really care about packaging that much because I don't wear the packaging in my eyes. What matters to me is what's inside. So this one. So Anastasia definitely is one of my favorite formulas of eyeshadow. And the reason why Sultry is my most favorite and not Prism, because they have the same formula, is because the Sultry has the colors that I would wear every day or in special occasions. It's just very plain neutral. Like if you cover Bloom and what's that, Slate, it's just very neutral. And this is my makeup style. Like at first when this was released, all of the beauty influencers were doing very glam look, very dark looks, and I don't go for those looks. That's why I skip on this palette. But later on, when I was watching other beauty creators that weren't really in the PR list of Anastasia, the beauty creators where they just wear natural makeup look, like without the lashes, without the like very bold look, I saw the beauty of this one, and I thought I love the Prism quality, so I decided to invest in my Prism and my Sultry, and I'm so glad I did, because the shimmers in here, they're a little bit dense, they're a little bit blingy, but I can make them work to be a little bit more work appropriate, or I can wet them to make it like club appropriate. I love it. Not that I go out a lot. I know that a lot of people are also put off with bloom, but if you mix bloom with rose quartz or the cinder, because cinder has like this beautiful like nudish champagne undertone, it looks nice. So at first you think that this is just a pop of color, but this actually has a purpose, especially for my skin tone, because this twig can be a little bit too cool tone for my skin tone as well as slate. So sometimes I'd mix birch with on my eyes or bloom just to create that hint of color, and also rose quartz. Rose quartz can look a little bit ashy on me if I use it with slate or twig, so that would look too cool toned for me and that would look too muddy on me. So every time I use rose quartz I need bloom. So yeah, you might think that bloom is just like there to attract you for that pop of color, but for me it has a purpose. And even though I don't like cool tones and slate is very cool toned, the fact that it has like birch in here, I can go a little bit more neutral and just mix it with this neutral colors. So I just absolutely love it. The shimmers in here, similar with the Prism, they have like dimension, like rose quartz have a golden shift to it. Teak has like a pinky shift to it. Cinder rather, and then pearl has this like light lilac peachy shift, and then cyborg has this lavender-ish undertone. It's just the colors in here are just very dynamic. I love it so much. The formula is quite nice, and then I know that this is limited edition, but they just released it for the holidays, Anastasia. So I think that the fact that they are recycling sultry, they keep on putting out sultry, it just goes to show that a lot of people like this, because the quality, the packaging, the quality, the colors, it's just so beautiful, and I'm so glad that I got this. But yeah, those are all of my palettes. They are all loved, they're all used, and I don't need to add another one. Well, I have some in my wish list that I was planning on buying during the, what they call it, the Beautylish gift card event, but I was just too occupied, I forgot to buy. But that's okay, there will be another gift card event next year. But yeah, anyway, I got this Carli Bybel. This has been sitting in my drawers. I just didn't get to open it because when I got it, I was already in a minimalist journey. So for you to join this giveaway, you just have to simply like this video, share the video in your social platforms or or here in YouTube, subscribe to my channel, of course, and then comment down below what you want to share that you learned from this year. So whether it be a good lesson or a bad lesson, just comment down below the lessons that you've learned this year, that you've gotten this year, because you never know how your story might inspire other readers as well. So yeah, comment down below what you learned this year and also your Instagram handle, because I will be contacting you from there. I've experienced some people who cannot post or who cannot comment with their IG handle. So if that's the case, just message me in Instagram. Just let me know that, oh, you cannot post your comment with your IG handle. So if that's the case, just remove the IG handle and then just message me in Instagram if that's the case. So yeah. Oh, if you guys are interested, so this is the Carli Bybel Deluxe palette from BH Cosmetics. It's very brand new. I haven't opened it, I haven't swatched it, but I'll open it for you guys just for you to see what it looks like. So this is the palette. It still comes in with this plastic, and you get like 15 shades in here. You have neutrals, mauves, and peaches, mauves, and neutrals. And then you also get a lot of what do you call this? Highlighters. So I'm giving this away because I'm no longer a highlighter person, and also apart from being a minimalist, I just prefer smaller palettes right now. And I don't know, I've moved on, I guess. My tastes have moved on. This arrived super late because of the shipping and all that, but during that time my tastes have evolved. But that's it guys, that's gonna end this video. I hope you found my very used palette inspiring. I hope you get to also use your eyeshadow like that. Don't savor your eyeshadows or your makeup because they will go bad eventually. So why not use it while they are usable, right? So yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and also comment down below if you're joining the giveaway. And yeah, I will see you on my next video guys. Bye!